Imagine a world where resources are unlimited and everyone can have everything they want. Sounds like a dream come true, right? Unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. In reality, resources are limited and we have to make choices about how to use them. That's where economics comes in. Economics is the study of how people, businesses, and governments make choices about how to use their limited resources to meet their needs and wants. It's like a giant puzzle where we have to figure out how to allocate resources in the most efficient way possible. Economics can be divided into two general categories, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics is like looking at the economy through a microscope. It focuses on individual markets and how people make decisions about what to buy and sell. Macroeconomics, on the other hand, is like looking at the economy through a telescope. It focuses on the big picture and looks at how the entire economy works. Some fundamental concepts in economics include scarcity, opportunity cost, and supply and demand. Scarcity is like a game of musical chairs. There are never enough chairs for everyone and someone always gets left out. In economics, resources are limited and we have to make choices about how to use them. Opportunity cost is like a fork in the road. Every time we make a choice, we give up the opportunity to do something else. Supply and demand are like two dancers in a tango. They move together in perfect harmony, each one affecting the other. But where did economics come from? How did it all begin? Well, economics has a long history dating back thousands of years. Civilizations in the Middle East, China, and elsewhere employed sophisticated financial concepts and produced written guides of best economic practices and norms in the first millennium BCE. The ancient Greeks were among the first to study economics as a separate discipline. And in the 18th century, Adam Smith published his famous book, The Wealth of Nations, which laid the foundations for modern economic theory. Adam Smith's magnum opus, The Wealth of Nations, was published on a crisp March day in 1776. It was a time of great change and progress, with the Scottish Enlightenment and agricultural revolution in full swing. Smith's work was a breath of fresh air in the world of economics, challenging the prevailing philosophy of mercantilism and advocating for a laissez-faire economic system. He introduced groundbreaking concepts such as gross domestic product, specialization and division of labor, mutual gain from trade, and the efficiency of markets. His central thesis was that individual self-interest results in societal benefit, which he famously called the invisible hand. Smith's work has stood the test of time and remains a foundational study in the history of economics. Economics has many real-life uses and impacts. By understanding economics, we can make better decisions about how to allocate our resources and improve our standard of living. For example, understanding supply and demand can help us make better decisions about what to buy and when to buy it. Understanding opportunity cost can help us make better decisions about how to spend our time and money. Imagine a world where the price of goods and services was determined by a magical force. In this world, there is a mystical balance that ensures that the right amount of goods and services are produced and consumed at the right price. This magical force is known as the law of supply and demand. It works in mysterious ways, but its effects are clear for all to see. When the demand for a good or service is high, but the supply is low, the price will rise. This encourages producers to produce more of the good or service to meet the demand. On the other hand, when the supply of a good or service is high, but the demand is low, the price will fall. This encourages consumers to buy more of the good or service at the lower price. On the other hand, when the supply of a good or service is high, but the demand is low, the price will fall. This encourages consumers to buy more of the good or service at the lower price. In this way, the law of supply and demand helps to maintain a balance in the market. It ensures that goods and services are produced and consumed at a fair price, and that resources are allocated efficiently. So next time you're out shopping and you see a sale or a price increase, remember that it's all part of the magic of supply and demand. And who knows, maybe there really is a little bit of magic at work in our economy. Can economic growth be infinite? The question of whether economic growth can be infinite in a finite world is a complex and debated topic. Some argue that infinite economic growth is impossible on our physically finite planet 1. Empirical studies have shown that it is difficult to decouple resource use from economic growth, meaning we will run out of resources if economic growth continues. However, others argue that it is theoretically possible to have limitless economic growth on a finite planet by decoupling or separating economic growth from unsustainable resource consumption and harmful pollution. This would require turning theory into actuality through the use of innovative technologies and sustainable practices. In conclusion, economics is a fascinating subject that touches on many aspects of our lives. By understanding economics, we can make better decisions and improve our standard of living. So next time you're faced with a tough decision, remember to think like an economist.